All right. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah, Regina. Hey, look. All right. Let's get it. I'm gonna let everybody get in here for a minute. Here we go. Jump right in. Let's go. I got some good. I actually got two topics, but I'm gonna figure out which one I'm gonna teach. All right. Somebody said my sound was terrible. It's because when I play music, that the people on YouTube and Facebook can't hear it. So I hope you guys can hear me now on YouTube and Facebook. For your listening pleasure, LL Cool J. Hey, lover. Hey, lover. I always do this just so that I can set the tone for what we're doing out here tonight. All right, y'all. Welcome. I am Coach Ken, aka the doctor, aka the professor. And like I say, people often ask me, why you call yourself a doctor? Not because I have a PhD or an MD. It is because when people come to me, they come in pain and I help them get out of pain, AKA the doctor. All right, y'all. Tonight, I got two topics. I've been trying to decide which one I'm going to do because I always have a story. And I had a story. I think I know which one I'm going to do. I had a story from one of my clients, and me and Coach, I don't know if any of you saw it today. Me and Coach Paul did a live today, and the live was off the chain. So, Coach Paul and I, my live ended on Instagram. So I gotta make sure we come back on Instagram because I don't know what just happened on Instagram. Because I got all my platforms up here. Let me see. All right, let's get out of this and let's come back. Let's come back. Okay. All right. So let's get back into it. That's unusual. This is what you get when you get live streams. So all right. So let's jump back in. Let's jump back in. Okay. Let's jump back in. All right. Okay. So sorry about that. But anyway, Coach Paul is a dating coach. He's fantastic. He's dynamic. And so I've even invited him, hired him to come teach in my academy, and he's done that. And today we did a lot. And we touched on a lot of different things. So much so that it made me say that we're going to create a joint venture together and we're going to do a whole, I don't know what it's going to be. We're going to talk tomorrow. But if we could teach people the right way to date, the right way, because so many of us, you know, so many of us are doing it incorrectly. And and it's just and no shade to anybody doing it incorrectly, but really, I have to say it because you know what, we cannot get right on wrong information. We can't, y'all. We can't get right on wrong information. And a lot of people listen to various content creators. No, nothing with that. But sometimes you get confused. And sometimes you get confused because you have too many influences and too many influences in your ear. And what happens is your head. I know what I'm gonna teach tonight. I was gonna teach on what a good man wants from a woman. Um, what every good man wants from a woman, but I ain't gonna teach that. What I'm gonna teach is how do you break an unhealthy attachment? Because think about it, y'all. How many of y'all are still attached to people in your lives? You're still attached to people in your life. You're still attached. But be it emotionally, be it mentally, you're thinking about the person emotionally, you still let them have access to you when you know it's not right, when you know it's not going to edify you, when you know it's not going to help you either find another person, find your person, or help you emotionally heal. Either way, it's not going to help you. If that's anybody, is that anybody? If it is, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. It'll help me know what I'm going to teach tonight. But this is what I'm thinking. Because I had somebody come to me and they were like, Coach, how do I break this? And so I talked about it briefly today with Coach Paul. And I talked about, so if you want to find out what every good man wants from a woman, put 2 in the chat. If you want to find out how to break an unhealthy attachment, put 1 in the comment section. Put 1 if you want to learn tonight how to break an unhealthy attachment, or 2 if you want to find out what every good man wants, what every good man. I didn't say an F boy. I didn't say somebody out there playing. Okay, I'll count them up. But anyway, before I get to all of that, if you would tell me your name and where you're checking in from, just so that I can properly acknowledge you, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with Coach tonight. All right. So tell me give me your first name and where you're checking in from. Okay. All right. Somebody said, can I have an unhealthy attachment with my husband? Absolutely. Nina from Austin, Texas. You can have an unhealthy attachment with your husband. What's that? Zatisha from Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you for joining me. Kay from New York. Takira from South Carolina in the building. Keisha from Michigan. Gina from Chicago. Pearl from North Kakalaki, my hometown. Well, not my hometown. Well, it's my hometown now. Tosh from Texas. Tina from Indiana in the building. Nika from Mississippi. Ginseng from Tennessee in the building. Thank you for joining me, Justine. Good job. All right. Crystal from Maryland. Josie from Newcastle, Delaware. T from Michigan in the building. Tiffany from Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas in the building. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, because like I said, I got all my platforms up tonight. And so I was going to talk about breaking an unhealthy attachment. All right. But I didn't say, so let me say it again. If you want to know how to break an unhealthy attachment, be it to whoever, to an ex, mama, brother, whatever, put 1. If you want to learn what every good man wants, when I say every good man, just that I've coached hundreds of them, which one? So, okay, let me see if I see more 1s. I see 1. Y'all tell me what y'all, okay, I see a 2, what a good man wants. See a 1, okay, in the bill, 1, 1, 1, 1. We got 2, 1, 1. We got 2, 2, 1. Oh, snap. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Y'all. I'm going to teach 1 tonight and 1 tomorrow night. How about that? So tonight, I'm going to teach, tonight I'm going to teach, how do you break an unhealthy attachment? Be it emotionally, be it physically, or mentally. And like I said, I touched on this earlier. And so think about it like this. If there is, some of you are attached to people that you know mean you no good. Some of you are attached to people that they moved on with their life and you want them to hurt because you hurt. Some of you are attached to people who are in other relationships, but you can't let go. You can't let go of what y'all used to have. Okay. Does that sound like anybody? Or an unhealthy attachment is the person can call you and you say you have all good intentions to let them go, to let them ride. But as soon as they call, soon as they call, you become helpless. It's almost like they say, I miss you. And you become like putty in their hands. Does this sound like anybody? Does this sound like anybody? All right. And or you say things like, why should they be happy for what they did to me? And you are consumed with them getting retribution, with them getting the things that they deserve. Okay. And so either of those things, if you experience any of those things, then you have an unhealthy attachment. You have an unhealthy attachment that ultimately, y'all, is preventing you, ultimately, that is preventing you from having the type of relationship that you want. And so, what we're going to talk about tonight, now listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to give you the condensed version. It requires work to do this. See, some of us just want to feel different. You like, if I could just get rid of this feeling, if I could just stop wanting to be with the person, if I could just stop giving in every time they call, if I could just get them out of my head, I'd be okay. Let me say this to you. Everybody has experienced it at some point in their life. It might not be with a romantic partner. It might be something that has happened to you, but you just can't let go. You just have trouble releasing it, okay? And it still bothers you, okay? And I was talking to one of my clients today, and I was saying, what I was saying was she was saying how the other person was, and I said the problem is not how the other person is. You know how the other person is. You know what they do. You know they're a user. You know that they don't care about anybody but themselves. You know it, but you can't release it because you're still tied to that emotion. See, you're still tied. What happens is their behavior is connected to an emotion in you. It is connected, okay? It has become attached to an emotion in you. And what happens is you find yourself reacting. You find yourself getting triggered. You find yourself getting sad, happy, angry. You go through all of the emotional cycle because you can't release it. And so tonight, I want to talk to you about how you actually release it. How do you break an unhealthy attachment? Now, I'm going to give you the formula. But it ain't going to be easy. Now, this is the formula to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, you need to hire a coach or somebody to help you. Now, some people say, okay, you say soul ties. I like that. SD Lust Travel. Well, here's the problem. My client today, their grandmother, it was their grandmother who they had the unhealthy attachment with. Was that a soul tie? Okay, was that a soul tie? I'm just asking because that wasn't a soul tie. And so it is not always soul ties that we think. So I want to, but it is an emotional connection that is not healthy or conducive to our well-being. So let me start. Allow me to start this. So here's how it goes. The first thing that I told my client today, so my client came, this wasn't today. This wasn't today. My client came to me a while ago, but I mentioned it today to another client who was going through a similar thing. And I said, what you have is an unhealthy attachment. And the question is, how do you break it? Because some of us are tormented by these relationships. Some of us are tormented by, I just can't let it go. And some of us we can't move forward because we're holding on to the ball and chain behind us. Does that sound like anybody I know? Anybody you know? Maybe it sounds like you. So the first thing I told him is, I said, okay, all right, when we do this, I said, the first step is deciding to break the unhealthy relationship, the unhealthy attachment. When I say decide, see, a lot of us say, I need to, I should, I ought to, but you've never decided to. Now, notice what I'm saying. How many of you have told yourself, I need to do this, I should do this, I ought to do it? But you've never decided. See, the word decide comes from the Latin root word meaning to cut off. It means to desere, means to cut off any other options. When you make a decision, when you decide, it means that I'm cutting off any other option and I'm taking this option. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is decide that this no longer deserves me. And so, and the reason why that's important, because if you haven't decided, it's going to keep coming in and out of your life. Can I tell you something? You know, when people make up and break up, that might be some of you. Do you know making up and breaking up is one of the most toxic things you could ever do? It is toxicity at its finest. And a lot of us don't know that it's toxic because we equate toxicity with arguing, with confrontation, with disagreement. But when you break up and make up, that is one of the most toxic things there is. Here's why. Because anything toxic is something that poisons you emotionally, mentally, or physically. What a toxin does, it poisons you and begins to kill you. Okay? And what I mean, it means to kill the relationship, kill you emotionally, and that's what I'm talking about. So when you make up and break up, right? That's toxic. So here's the thing. When you decide that I must do it, not that I should, listen to what I'm about to say. Not that I should, not that I ought to, not that I might do it. It is only when decision or deciding comes when it becomes a must, when you must cut it off. Okay? That's the first step. Because if you don't decide, a lot of us don't know how we're going to do it, don't know what it's going to take. But when you decide, it was like me. Y'all, I used to weigh 425 pounds. Okay? And now, I knew I went to the doctor just to give you a little. This was years ago. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said that I was a diabetic, I had high blood pressure, and he made the statement that I would probably not be around in 5 years. But he made it so nonchalant that, here I was, big ex-football player. Here I was crying. I was like, man, this was 20 years ago, y'all. And yes, somebody says, what? And so here's what happened. On that day, as I sat in that doctor's office, and as I began crying, weeping about how did I end up here? See, how many of you asked the question, how did I get here? How did I get here? How did I arrive here? And so when I was sitting there crying and I got in my car, and here's what the doctor said. Yes, I said 425 pounds. And when I got in there, and when I left, the doctor says, here's the prescription for the diabetes medicine. I think it was metformin at the time. And here is the high blood pressure medicine. So when I got in the car, I'll never forget this, y'all. I called my father. And my father was a health fanatic. And I didn't know what else to do. Here I was, it was 20 years, here I was, 38 years old, 39 years old. Here I was, and I said to myself, I was like a baby. And so I called my father, and I'll never forget the words he said. He said, son, he said, God made the body, it can heal itself, but you have to do your part. You got to give him something to work with, but you got to decide. You got to decide today what kind of life you're going to live. You have to decide today where you're going to go. You have to decide today if you're going to be here 5 years from now. You have to decide to live and not die. I'll never forget it. It was something about those words. Now, my father didn't know the Latin definition of the word decide. He didn't know that, but he did know. But he taught me almost everything I know about influence. But what he did know that when you make a decision, you don't look at anything else. And so when you have to decide, when you first step you have to do to break an unhealthy attachment is you decide. It doesn't matter how you're going to do it. You don't know how you're going to do it. You didn't have a clue. That decision I made that day, who knew that decision would take me to the reality show, The Biggest Loser? Who knew that I would be on a reality show telling people, millions of people, my shortcomings? Here I could motivate people to change their life, but I couldn't motivate myself to change my life. Here I was living in hypocrisy. Now, I decided when you get to the point that you do not care, that you do not care what other people say, because I'm tired of being sick and tired. I don't care what you think about me. Y'all, I am beyond. I don't care what people think about me. You know what I care about is that I live a life of integrity. Now, if you talk about the way I look, I don't care. If you talk about the way that I talk, I don't care. If you talk about the way that I dress, anything, the glasses I wear, I don't care. Because what I care about is the integrity that I have. Now, you can't talk about my integrity. You know why? Because I won't give you reason to. I won't give you a reason to, because the thing is, I realize that's the only thing that's real. So the first thing when you're breaking unhealthy attachments is you got to decide. The second thing you have to do when you're going to break an attachment, unhealthy attachment with somebody, with anybody, it could be a person, place, or thing. Hey, Sierra. Sierra's in my academy teaching on law of attraction. I've been watching the videos. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. So here's the thing. The second thing you have to do is you have to cut off the oxygen. Oh, wow. Whoa. You have to cut off the oxygen. Now, I want you to understand where I'm coming from with this. The first thing is this, is that everything lives because it has oxygen. It needs, even the fish in the sea need oxygen. Okay, you have to cut off the oxygen. And so what this is what is the oxygen? I always tell people you cut off the oxygen because if you cut off the oxygen, they can't live. If you have an unhealthy attachment with somebody, every access to you, every access to them, you have to cut it off, because that's cutting off the oxygen. You can't look at their social media. You can't go to their social media, because what you're doing every time you go to their social media, every time you look at don't delete their number, don't block their number, every time you keep oxygen coming in, and whenever the oxygen there, it's still living. It's still living. And what I always tell people, if you know the unhealthy attachment is poisoning you, then you have to be willing to cut off the oxygen. But how many of us not willing to stop looking at the social media, not willing to block the number or delete the number, not willing to ask about them? Yes, I know that part is hard. I know it's hard, but here's what's harder. You're in a relationship that's unhealthy. What did I say? it's toxic because anything that is toxic is poisoning you slowly. It's poisoning you emotionally. It's poisoning you mentally. It's poisoning you. It's even breaking down you physically because there is dis-ease in your body. And this dis-ease in your body, y'all, leads to stress with cortisol release. It leads to you feeling mental health issues, which leads to this ease leads to disease. So the truth is, yes, it is hard. It is difficult, but the alternative is far worse. The alternative to it is far worse. And so I tell you, if you're not willing to cut off the oxygen, that's why I always tell people this. I tell people this. I say, you're only ready. You're right. It affects your central nervous system. You are so right, prototype type. You are so right. Listen, here's the thing. What I tell people is you literally have to hit rock bottom to transform your life. Do you know to transform your life in any kind of way, you literally have to hit rock bottom? You know why? It's just like me. I hit rock bottom when the doctor told me that I would probably be dead in 5 years. That's rock bottom. You know why rock bottom is so important? Some of us have not hit rock bottom yet. And you have still resigned that there's still a chance that I could get the relationship back, that he gonna change or that she gonna change. So you haven't hit rock bottom yet. You know why hitting rock bottom is important? Listen to me closely. Because what happens to you is you have what we call a C moment. S-E-E. A C moment is a significant emotional event. You see, most of us have not had a significant emotional event that causes a mind shift, an emotional and mind shift that says to you, I must, where you move from I should to I must. You see, in my life, that when I sat in the doctor's office, when I began to think about my kidneys shutting down, when I began to think about me losing my sight, when I began to think about all of the things that were associated with diabetes at that time, it became, I had a C moment, a significant emotional event. It's kind of like the person who the doctor's been telling you to change. But it's kind of like you have the heart attack that almost kills you. You have a C moment. It's kind of like the person you've been in a toxic relationship, but this time he breaks your collarbone and you escape with your life. Those are C moments. See, here's the thing about a C moment. A C moment does not have to be big. It just has to be significant. And some of us have not experienced a C moment. And so for me, in my weight loss, that was a C moment. I experienced a C moment, and these C moments only happen a couple of times in your life. But I experienced a C moment when I almost lost my wife in terms of the relationship. We almost headed for divorce court. And that was when that was the seed that was planted that I became Coach King, why I'm talking to y'all today, because I never wanted to see my life without her in it. But the way I was headed, that was going to happen. C moment, y'all. And so when you hit rock bottom, you have a C moment. So that's why I say, and you have to cut off all the oxygen. Then the third step, and that's why I said it ain't easy, y'all. That's why you need a coach to help you. The third step is this. You have to change the story you're telling yourself. So now let me follow you. I said this on Coach Paul's Live today. I said the truth is every single human being is telling themselves a story. Now, this is what the story sounds like, y'all. Yeah, he don't want to get serious right now because he's not ready for a relationship, but he treat me like his girlfriend. Story. Here's the story. Well, he don't want to leave her because they got the kids together. They just gonna wait till the kids get grown, or they got a house together. They don't want to split up the bills. Too much to spend up to spend. Splitting assets up. Story. She don't treat him right, but he ain't gonna leave. He ain't got nowhere to go. Story. And so what happens is, or there was a story. He under so much stress. The truth is, y'all, just like me, I told myself a story. I can't lose. I can't work out. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. We create these stories where somebody says excuses are lies to self. Yes, these stories create, now listen to what I'm going to say. These stories create a belief system in us. And see, write this down, y'all. What a belief. And for those of you, I'm teaching on this, really teaching on it in my class, my communication class in my academy on Sunday. For those of you who really want to get down and come and learn this, I'm teaching this week. Write down this, because the reason you tell yourself a story is because you have a belief. A belief is, write this down, a belief is a thought, perception, or statement that we accept as true. Notice what I said. A belief is a thought, statement, or perception that we accept as true. It does not mean the beliefs we have are true. When you talk about, yeah, he's this, yeah, he's that, or yeah, this, what it is you've accepted it as part of your belief system. Like some of y'all have said, there is nobody out there for me. All dating, the dating pool is full of piss, or all men cheat, or this and that. Everything you do, you tell yourself a story. Men are just boys. Men are just boys, want to be mama's boys. Not every man ain't a mama's boy. But that's the story you tell yourself. And do you know how we tell ourselves stories? I want to be honest. We tell ourselves stories to justify our situation. You see, if I don't tell myself a story that I'm too busy to lose weight, I'm traveling too much, if I don't tell myself that story, then I would have to face the fact that there's something wrong with my decision making. There's something wrong with me because I'm not doing anything. I'm doing something detrimental to me, detrimental to my well-being. And see, it was only then that I began to challenge the story. Wow, y'all, this is powerful right here. Whenever you want to break an unhealthy attachment, you have to be willing to challenge the story you're telling yourself. Wow, coach. Wow. You see, I'm not the kind of coach who gonna just bash people. I could have thousands of people on bashing somebody else, bashing men or bashing women. But the truth of the matter is, that does anybody no good. My mission is bigger than that. My mission is about restoring relationships. I only have two goals, y'all, to put relationships together and keep relationships together. That is all. That is my only two missions. And I try to do that with all my content. So that good night. Somebody said send in love all the way from Trinidad. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And so, y'all, this is what I'm talking about. You have to challenge the story. And then the last thing, what advice do I have for who, baby? Which one? I'm trying to, oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna answer your question, Princess. When I get to let me get to this last thing. And then after you challenge the story, you have to take action. You have to act as if. Notice what I just said. You have to act as if. Act as if you had the very thing that you wanted. And see, this is a process. If you had the things that you wanted, what would you be doing? How would you be acting? Would you be saying the same things you're saying? Would you be moving the same way you're moving? What would you be doing? Would you be communicating the way that you're communicating? Would you be resolving conflict the way that you're resolving it? And so what that does, it creates energy. Wow. I'm going to say this to y'all. I've helped a lot of people break through, helped a lot of people get rid of unhealthy attachments. I've helped a lot of people communicate better. But let me say this to y'all. The most important thing is changing this. It's changing this. Changing your own mind about how you view the world, how you view relationships. For anybody here wanting to change, for those of you who know, I've been doing an 8-week communication class called Just Ask, how the right questions can reveal the right partner. Most of us don't want to change the way we think, our belief system, because we want to keep doing what we've been doing. We keep listening to our girlfriend. She ain't got nobody, and she don't want you to have nobody. The truth is, yeah, she might, and what she'll do is she will sit with you and talk about other men, about men ain't jack. She'll talk to you about why all men cheat. When deep inside, you don't want that. You want one man that's going to love you for who you are. You want one man that's going to cherish you. But as long as you stay in that energy, as long as you're listening to people like that, y'all, I'm not saying what I think, I'm saying what I know. Somebody says, who is that? Ancestor Wisdom said the glasses are good, y'all. Y'all need to come. We just started. We're 2 weeks in, and I normally don't open up my classes while I'm doing it, but I will send you the replays of the first 2 weeks. If you want to join my class and you want to learn to change your mindset, get around a group of people. I think it's about 45 people in it now. If you want to learn how to change, how to begin getting in the energy of people who are getting it. Oh, who is that? Ancestor Wisdom? Oh, yes, thank you. All right, who is that? But for those of you who want to join, you can still join. I think this week or next week, I'm going to cut it off. And it's only $10 a week, y'all. It's $10 a week. And for those of you who really want to change, here's what I'm going to do. If you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, what I want you, hey there. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Trevor. Good to see you. If you're on Instagram, if you're on that, and if you're on YouTube, I'm about to put the link here. If you're on YouTube. But if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok or Facebook, all you have to do is go up to my profile. Go up to my profile and click on my profile, and you'll see my link tree. And my link tree simply says, Just Ask Masterclass, 8 weeks. And in these 8 weeks, I'm changing people's lives. Just 2 weeks in, we build on every week. For those of you who really, and if you're on YouTube, I just put the link in the comment section. But if you really want to change, if you want to stop thinking what you think and believe in what you believe, and you want to change your belief system, I would suggest you come. All right. I would suggest you join. It's $10 a week. All right. And look, one other thing I'm doing. For those of you, if I'm doing a special this coming up month on my discovery session. My discovery sessions are normally $497. Okay, to get with me. That's why I was telling people, you come to my class, $497. But for the next month, what I'm doing, I'm taking $150 off. If anybody's interested in a discovery session is a 90-minute deep dive. It's a deep dive where I'm gonna go through from where you are to your childhood, and I'm gonna dissect what's going on and show you how to help you. If you're interested in that and you want to take advantage of it, all you have to do is email me. Don't go to my website because it's $497. All right, email me at coachkencanyon@gmail.com. Coach Ken Canyon at Gmail. Say you want to do a discovery session. We'll set up a Zoom time. I'll tell you how you can pay the $350, and we'll go from there. Yes, the course already started, but you'll get the replays for the first 2 weeks, and then you can catch up with us this week. It's that serious. Now, do you need to still join? Absolutely. I wouldn't have kept it open if I knew it wasn't still good. All right? Because we just scratching the surface, y'all. We got eight. And then here's the other thing. If you join my class, you got access to me. If you don't, you don't have access. This ain't just for, this is for men and women. Men and women. Everybody knows needs to know how to communicate. This is not gender based. It's for men and women and couples too. All right. So that is all. What's up, Kilo? My guy, Grammy Award winning producer. Right. Hey, y'all. Kilo, I got some good friends, y'all. Y'all know, y'all, Lauryn Hill. Y'all ever heard of Lauryn Hill? He on that album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Who wrote most of the songs on there? Well, I don't know how many. I know he wrote a lot of them on there. My guy, Kilo, my man. Okay. All right. You want to join user 361? Go up to my bio on TikTok. And what I want you to do is click on my link tree. You'll see it. And you'll see it. The first thing that pops up says, Just Ask Masterclass. And if you go there, you can join it. All right. Anybody else? Y'all, thank y'all so much for being with me tonight. He co-wrote 8 songs on the joint. Show he a bad boy. Hey, I got something coming out soon. Well, he helped me on. So y'all know about that soon. All right. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. See y'all on the next one. Peace. Your question. Princess, hold on. Before I get out, Princess had a question, y'all. I didn't answer it. Let me see what Princess said. Let me go back to what she said. Princess said, okay. Princess said, my friend had a man that was still in a 4-year relationship, but said he just keep that woman as a friend, as my friend now lives with him and her kids. She had to search his phone to find out the vibe. What advice do you have for her? All right, Princess, let me say this to you. Princess, now you know the answer to that. I don't even need to tell you. If he's probably still connected to this person. You're right. He's probably still connected to it. And now your friend is enthralled in the relationship. And if she's seen it on her phone, she's seen on her phone what's going on. You know what? She knows. But what she's probably in denial because she wants the relationship so bad. Now, let me ask you a question. Whose children are they living with? Are the children the other lady's children? So please tell me that. Thank you so much, Anna. I appreciate you. You are the best too, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey, Princess, tell me what that is. I want to know whose kids those are. Okay, because what it sounds like to me is now I'd love to know the dynamics of the relationship. And so without me knowing that my friend and her kid, my friend and her kids live with the man, she still have him, it's about a year. Okay. And he's still in contact with the other lady or not? Are they still in the relationship, the other lady with him? Does she know for sure? Or what did she see on the phone? Tell me what she saw on the phone. Because I have to get context. I can't just give advice off of not knowing what's what, who's what, and all of that. Okay. No, he blocked the lady. So maybe is he finished with the, maybe he's finished with the lady. If she likes to be in the relationship with the guy, okay. Coach, do you uncover attachment styles? I do. I do. If you would love to book a session, please, I do. She saw the lady begging to see him. He gives excuses. Okay. All right. So does she thinks that there's still a relationship with the lady, right? So the reality is this right here. Then does she trust him? It sounds like there's mistrust in the relationship. Okay. And so if she's not trusting him, and if she's not trusting him, then how's that going to work? How's that going to work? You know what? Because what that creates trust issues because see, the foundation of a relationship is trust. If you can't trust the person, then you can't truly be in a healthy, happy relationship with them. He told her he kept the lady around because she was spoiled. Oh my God. Okay. He told her, kept the lady around because he was spoiling him. So what that tells me is Oh my goodness. Um, you know what it is. I mean, come on. If the lady's still around, then and he's still in contact with her, that's a problem. Let's be honest. That's a problem. Okay. For my wife, she's fighting stage 4 B cell cancer, breast cancer. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. My prayers are with her and with you. My prayers are with y'all. All right, but that's what I would say is they need to get some coaching because those trust issues are just going to grow. They're just going to grow. Just being honest. All right, that's my time, y'all. I am out. Y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.